What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Shed G. Yes, right. Look at me. I got a blazer on like I got a court date. I think I do. But welcome to another edition of Shed G and Friends podcast. And when I tell you I'm so excited about this, because there's a lot of information that's out there. People think because I do comedy, movies, and all of the stuff, I like to educate the community on things on how to get things done in life, fashions, and things that happen in real life. And speaking of real life, this next brand that I have on here, this brother's gonna, man, when I tell you, when I first moved to Dallas, heard the commercials, seen everything, and I always wondered what it was about and everything until I've been in Dallas for a couple of years and I've seen all these car accidents. And when I tell you, he's one of the top ones here in Dallas. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise right now. Start clapping your hands for attorney David Godsey, everybody.
Hey, appreciate it, my guys.
How you feel, brother?
I'm feeling wonderful, man. Glad to have you here, man, to have this opportunity. I appreciate the invitation to sit down with you. Of course, you know, we share a fraternal bond.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In addition to just our personal bond. We've been cool since the day we met each other, so I'm excited about this.
Yes, sir. And, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know anything about you. I didn't know the stature or the status or anything when I met you, and you was just as cool. Just like we was at the gym. Like, hey, how you doing, brother? We talking. And next thing you know, we finally were in the same bond. It was just cool. So I think that's the number one testament to you is being that type of person. It doesn't matter the statue of your personality is everybody's the same.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. You know, in some of our conversations that we have, you know, not in this setting, you know, you talk a lot about your family and the way you were raised, and certainly there's some similarities that we have, you know, and, you know, I'm David Godsey's son, so some things have to be a certain way, and humility is one of them, and to hear you echo, you know, that you see that, you know, I think it's more of a testament to him than it is to me, but I appreciate it.
Man, I just really appreciate it too, and we're going to get into everything, man, and you see I got my court date.
Yeah,
I can't prepare just in case.
You got to let some of our clients. Yeah. Shouts out to the clients.
Shouts out to the clients. No doubt. Now, what inspired IJustGotHit.com?
So, you know, it's really a long story, man. It started with I got my start handling auto claims for Progressive Insurance, you know, right out of college. And in doing that, I was able to build a reputation as someone who could go in and settle injury claims for the people that you know, our insured had accidents with. Right. And I came to realize that reputation was built on being able to settle those cases for lower value than my counterparts, which of course for the insurance company is a good thing, right? Because they don't want to pay out the money. And over time, I came to realize that I was being sent into communities like the one that I grew up in to come back with these releases for value that was less than what was owed. And the insurance company celebrated that and allowed me to progress, and I got several promotions early on. And one day I just woke up and just felt like this is not what I should be doing. And I felt as if I was letting my community down, you know, in a direct relationship, and then my family down and my people down, because what I was settling cases for in one zip code was different than what cases were being settled for in another zip code. And so I just made the decision that I was going to change that up and go back to law school and right the ship, so to speak. And when I did that, I called, you know, my good friend that I grew up with, and I said, hey, man, I got this blueprint. I learned it from Progressive. I'm going to go to law school. You should go with me, and we're going to start this law firm. And at the time, he hadn't finished undergrad, and he hadn't and it was a very noble reason why. Like his mom, it was just him and his mom growing up, and his mom got sick, and he decided to leave school to start working to take care of her. And we did that. He got into sales and was just amazing at it. You know, remember the days we'd say, man, if I could just make six figures,
Come on, man.
I'd be doing it.
Come on, man. And so what I'm hearing is it was a great testimony, a story behind everything of greatness, to be honest with you. You always got that story to tell you about where you have. But when did you realize like that you was a heavy hitter?
Oh, man, you know, so when my former law partner, who I just talked about, came up with that slogan, I just got hit, and he pitched it to me because we were struggling about how do we do this? Like, should we – well, let me back up. We knew we needed to be memorable, but we knew we couldn't be corny. Right. And a lot of lawyers at the time were screaming into the TV, you know, call me now and I can get you this. And, and we knew that wasn't going to play well with our folks. Right. So when he pitched it to me, I said, man, I'm going to work. It's going to work, you know. And it was basically our daughters reenacting an adult conversation that everybody knows now. And that's how I Just Got Hit was born. And you know how it is in the early days, man, your head is just down. You got your blinders on and you just in there working and grinding. And then one day you look up and you realize that, hey man, the things I used to have to worry about financially aren't there anymore. The things I used to have to worry about in terms of, you know, are we going to get more clients? I don't have to worry about it anymore. And just passing those little milestones along the way, you know, I just realized that things were different. Of course, it didn't stop the urge and the desire to try to continue to grow and improve, but certainly that was, you know, probably about 4 years in, we realized that, hey, man, this is something special, and we're doing well with it.
So one question I would like to ask is, what is the biggest mistake that people make after a car accident?
Oh man, that's by and large, it's not getting photographed. Well, there's a number of mistakes. Number one, you don't get photographs. They trust what the other person is saying them, and they don't get the police involved. And by that, I mean, you know, you get out of the car and the person, oh, I'm so sorry that I did this, and I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at my cell phone. And then when they exchange information and they get home and the person's saying, no, they ran into me. Right. Or the accident happened some other way than it actually really did. And so just kind of over communicate. Now, after the scene of the accident, people trust the insurance company, and they feel like the insurance company has their best interests at heart. And they're unaware of the fact that the insurance companies spend millions of dollars training their adjusters to build trust with people for the sole purpose of undervaluing their claims. And so that they'll then call us, and we're trying to repair what has already been done. Big mistake, but nothing that's too critical.
So that's the next question I have. Why do you think people, like you say you came from Progressive. Progressive was mine, insurance. But why do you think people just trust the companies and go by their word all the time?
Right. You know, the biggest thing is advertising, right? Who doesn't trust Jake from State Farm? Right. You know, nice looking young brother with the red jacket who's speaking freely, or the little gecko. Right, who's saying all the right things about how he's going to be there, or the fact that you're in good hands. Right. You know, there's just a marketing effort that is made to build trust, none of which is based upon or rooted in fact. Right. The fact of the matter is that each of those entities is in the for-profit business. Right. And the least they can pay on claims, and the better off they're going to be. And I like to tell people all the time, if you could get for yourself what I could get for you, or if the insurance company is going to treat you fairly, guys like me would be out of work. Right. They'd be, I'd be handling divorces or criminal cases, or maybe representing some big time comedians. I'd be doing that. But at the end of the day, I do what I do because insurance companies aren't designed to take the moral approach and to be fair with you and to offer you what you're entitled to. They're trying to undercut you, and I come in and even that playing field.
Now, look, I'm about to ask a question now.
Okay,
feel free to ask if you want to. I want you to get in trouble. Yeah. What is the one thing insurance companies hope we don't find out as people?
They really don't want you to understand the true value in your case is built upon diagnosing every single symptom that you're complaining about and getting the proper treatment for it. Right? So what insurance companies want to do is they will tell you information that's not entirely accurate. Oh, we see cases like this before. You're talking about your neck and back are hurting. We could give you X amount of money right now in your pocket. Then we'll put some money to the side so you can get your medical expenses paid for. Without giving you the opportunity to truly go to a medical provider that has your best interest in heart, where you can explain all of your symptoms. And then they can follow up those questions with, well, listen, if you're talking about you feel numbness in your fingertips, maybe you feel some radiating pain through your arms. Well, somebody may feel numbness and the radiating pain, but if the numbness outweighs the radiating pain, that may not get diagnosed. And if it does, or may not get tested. If it doesn't get tested, it won't get diagnosed. Doesn't get diagnosed, won't get treated. Doesn't get treated, you don't get paid for it. Right? And so the biggest role that we play is ensuring that you're going to go to some credible medical providers. We're not in medicine. We don't send you to people because they do X, Y, Z. That we let doctors be doctors. However, we use reputable doctors that are going to make sure that they test everything, diagnose it, and treat it. And insurance companies don't want you to do that, And then they'll throw money. You know, we all heard the stories of Don King. Don used to say, to his boxers, hey, I'll give you this $1 million in cash right now, or you can sign this contract. And, these boxers were taking $1 million in cash or sometimes less and passing up on multi-millions of dollars in what he was doing with what he was, in terms of how he was dealing. So there's a system in place to minimize the value of your case. And the only thing that stands in the way of that is folks like me who come in and say, no, not so fast, right? Like, let's make sure we got it right.
Clap for that. Let me clap for that. Yeah. I know I ain't gonna lie, my uncle and them get a car accident. Boom, whiplash.
Yeah.
Why you holding your arm? That's not what whiplash is. It's one of those things. Now, we're gonna I want to get to know you also, and I feel that people need to know who you are as a person. But this will be the last question I have. I know they can go to IJustGotHit.com and stuff. But if somebody is in a car accident, what would you tell them the first thing they need to do, like the first 5 minutes? What would be your advice?
So the first thing is make sure you're in a safe place, right? There will be time for us to do what we do, when the time is right. But a lot of these accidents occur on busy interstates. They occur in high traffic areas. And you just want to make sure, if you're able to get your car to a position to where you are going to be safe. Once you do that, you want to take photographs. You want to get any admissions that the other person is going to make or will make, if they'll agree to it, about what happened in the accident. Just say, and it doesn't have to be, hey, I want you to write out this long affidavit about what happened, right? We're really just talking about, hey, what happened in the accident? Or while you're filming, you rear-ended me, was there something that caused you to do that? Anything that we could sink our teeth into when it comes time to negotiate that helps us prove liability or that the other person was at fault. And as long as you're doing that, you're fine. The next thing is, you got to call a lawyer immediately. Now, of course, we'd like for you to call us every time, but because I do this for something bigger than me, I want you to just get some kind of help. So even if you don't call me, call somebody who's trained, who's dealing with this in terms of a daily basis. Like, this is their practice area, so that they can allow you to avoid whatever pitfalls are out there, get you into credible medical providers, not just your fly-by-night, therapists or chiropractor. Folks who are in the business of recognizing pain, diagnosing it, and treating it. All of those things kind of work in tandem in terms of being under the umbrella of making the right choices right after you have an accident. And I like to tell people all the time, like, I think I'm funny, believe it or not, but I know there's no way I can grab a microphone and stand in front of a crowd the way you do and get everybody to laugh. And that's just one of your many talents, right? Yes, with all the other things that you've dedicated all these hours to, I can't, no matter how smart I think I am or how funny I think I can't show up and do it the Shed G way. And so I encourage people to understand, no matter how smart you are, and I trust everybody's very smart, this is what I do. And so to call me and to say, hey, look, I need your assistance, you're going to put yourself in a better situation than you otherwise would be. And so, and whether it's me or not, calling somebody who's the expert in that area. Because last thing these folks want that watch your show is for me to stand up and give jokes. Well, especially if they pay what they pay to see you. I'm in trouble.
First and foremost, boy, them noobs. When I tell you them noobs, boy, honorable achievement in every field in human endeavor. Boy, you some smooth talking brothers, man. I really appreciate you. Now, tell them how they can get in contact with you if they ever been in a car accident before we get into the stuff I really want to get into.
Listen, I know you syndicated, you all over the place. We're all across the state of Texas, right? We have offices in Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio. It's best to go to our website. Everybody thought .com companies were dead in the 90s, but we're a .com company, right? It's just IJustGotHit.com. Where people can find us on the web. You can fill out a web form. If you're outside of our area, 1-800-I-GOT-HIT. And then we have, different local vanity numbers depending on the city that we're in. But that 1-800-I-GOT-HIT will get to us no matter where you are. Certainly if you get on the website, it'll get to us. And then we carry it from there. Right? I know for a fact people are apprehensive about reaching out, and they have this fear. They're anxious, right? Well, I don't know if I'm going to say the right thing, and maybe it's tough to talk to a lawyer, but we take it from there. Once you call, that's the hardest thing, right? And we will get all the information we need. It is not uncommon for people to not have all the information we need in our initial call. No problem. We'll get what we can, and then we'll work on the back end to make sure we can fill in the blanks. And And then from there, we just become a part of your family until everything is resolved. And that's been our mission, and I think that's why we've had success for almost 20 years now.
I want people to get to know the person I know, right? Okay. I remember the time when I first met you, but then another time I remember is when, I don't know if you remember, right before the New Edition concert.
Okay. Yeah.
Right before the New Edition concert, we was all eating at the same restaurant. And I saw you, and I went over there and talked to you.
I remember that.
I had my R&B leather, my R&B leather jacket on. You know what I'm saying? And I went and talked to you, and I was like, "Yo, this dude is cool. He hangs out. He does what he like. You're just a cool. Like, what are you like doing on a daily basis? You know, like a normal thing that you like."
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So first of all, let me tell you about this New Edition show. It's good that you called me in a good mood, because normally before New Edition, I feel away.
Right,
because I'm really supposed to be a part of New Edition.
I'm a sixth member.
Listen, man, when Bobby left,
yeah,
they called my mama,
right,
but she had call waiting,
right.
So it was busy, so they reached out to call Johnny. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. So always before the ND concert, listen, I'm in there and we getting it in,
right.
But no, in all seriousness, man, I like the same things everybody else like.
Right.
I understand that there is work to be done when I come to work. Mm-hmm. And I work hard, and I feel like I give myself the opportunity to play hard.
Right.
And so, you'll find me on the golf course.
Yeah.
That's my number one recreation. But I like to go out to dinner with my friends and my wife and couples that we know. We travel quite a bit, and where we travel, I never know 99% of the time. My wife just come home and tell me we're about to go to XYZ.
Right.
But yeah, I like to do all of those things,
right?
And I require people. I'm an extrovert, so I gotta go dap it up and hang out, and that's my thing.
Now I'm gonna say this too: you are active in the community. Yeah. You do a lot of stuff, especially for the brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Yo. When I say that, I see you at those events. I see you at you're supporting a lot of. How important is that for you?
It's extremely important. I have been active in Kappa since I was initiated, right? Back in spring of '92.
Woo!
Right? So 33 years in, almost 34.
There. Come on now.
But that that definition of active may not be what everybody says. I've always paid my dues. And I haven't always had time. I built this business, and that required a lot of my time. And, if I were to leave here, in the days where I was leaving when it was dark and getting home when it was dark, trying to build this thing, if I were to take one of them nights off and tell my wife, well, I'm going to go to frat meeting, or I'm going to go hang out with the noobs, I might not be sitting here right now. She'd have something different to say about that.
Yeah.
But I always paid my dues.
Right.
And I remember being a young undergrad and guys saying, hey, listen, man, there's 3 ways in which you could be active. And that's through your time, your talent, or your treasure. And so I've been blessed to be active, not just with my alumni chapter, which is Dallas Alumni, shout out to the Dallas Alumni News, but I've supported every alumni chapter in this area, most undergraduate chapters, and even across the state and the nation with my treasure. And I'm always happy to do it, because I feel like a lot of success that I've had in life has a direct relationship to my affiliation with Kappa Alpha Psi.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? Like it's not I'm successful despite being a noob, right? I'm successful because I'm a noob.
Yes, sir. That's the difference.
Yeah, and it's a lot of nuances that go on in being a part of every organization. But when our founders came up with a motto of achievement in every field of human endeavor, that just says that I get chills right now as I say it, because we don't have to focus on, well, what am I supposed to do in this area or that area? Like, just achieve.
It's achieve.
Right? And there's probably multiple ways to do it. I ain't figured them out. I just know one way, right? Just put your head down and work. And I've solved a lot of problems through work. I've enjoyed a lot of success through work. And I get all of that from my days of being initiated. And to give back is an obligation to me, right? Like, that's the least I can do. And then I have a good time at all these events. Man.
Yeah, and you do. Yeah. And you do. I remember when I did I think what was it? The oh my God, the event in February, the Boulay.
Okay, yeah.
Did the Boulay event, and you know how I got up, had the people dead. You was the first one up, throwing your hands up.
That's it. Must have been some new edition.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm about to mess you up. So that night, I was gonna. So that night, I don't want to flex, but it's time for me to flex.
Do your thing.
So you know, like I know all the guys.
Right.
I toured with Bell Biv DeVoe and did a lot. So that night I had texts. I was like, hey man, where y'all at? He hit me. It's like, hey, come up here to Papa Do's.
Okay.
So then I looked at you and was like, man, but he got too many people with you.
Oh yeah.
Because I was gonna come over there.
You thought standing in front of that bullet was gonna help you, man. You supposed to call your boy. Man. I'd have told him, hey, I'll meet y'all later. Yeah, I gotta go meet.
Right. I told my date, I was like, man, that's my guy. But I want to impress him. Yeah. You know. But, you couldn't do it.
Nah, but I really do understand that, and that's I appreciate that.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this up. But I like to do this thing. I like to call this or that.
Okay.
Okay. This or that is something where you got to answer either or.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay, brother. That's just what it is. It's
I'm
either or.
Yeah. Set me up for the kill.
Set you up for the kill, but it's either or. I want to make sure I'm good for this.
Okay.
Am I focused? Corey, am I focused on this camera? Yes, send me I'm focused. All right. So number one, Erykah Badu or Jill Scott?
I gotta go with Jill Scott.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
No explanation.
That was a tough one. Yeah,
no explanation. Because I don't want no problems on here.
Yeah.
So then we have grape or red.
Red.
Yeah. Okay. Always red. I don't care what it is.
That's it.
Always red. Sugar Smacks or Crunch Berries.
Crunch Berries.
Okay. Take a shower or a bath.
Shower.
Okay, I like. Come on, you quick with it, brother. You a lawyer or something? All right. So then we have Michael Jackson or Prince.
Ooh,
yeah.
Gotta go with the King, Michael Jackson.
Okay,
yeah.
Mint Condition or Earth, Wind and Fire. I know that got me too.
It's crazy because I was in school in the 90s and Mint Condition was hot, but Earth, Wind and Fire legends. I got to go with Earth, Wind and Fire.
Okay, Martin Lawrence or Eddie Murphy.
Martin.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. That was a good one. I like that one. Let
me tell you a funny story, just real quick.
Yeah.
Like, I never saw an episode of Seinfeld when I was coming up because it came on Thursday night, same time as Martin. And I never missed Martin.
Yeah.
And my kids, who wasn't even thought of when Martin was on, they've seen all the episodes. So I love me some Martin.
Right. I'm looking around here and I see you. So you're a Dallas Cowboy fan.
100%.
Okay. 100% Dallas Cowboy fan. Let me ask you this. Tony Dorsett or Emmitt Smith?
Emmitt.
Emmitt. Yeah. Now you gotta explain why.
So listen, first of all, coming up as a kid, Tony Dorsett was everything. They both left the team, right? Emmitt, a lot of people don't know. Tony went to Denver.
You sure did. I was gonna say that. My Broncos. Sorry about that.
Yeah, Emmitt went to the Cardinals. But I think for Emmitt to accomplish what he did in the space of Jerry coming in on the team, not playing under Tom Landry. To have the holdout year and prove yourself, and then just to be the workhorse that he was. And I think, as crazy as it sounds, he's underrated because he played at the same time as Barry Sanders, who, in the mind of a lot of people, is the greatest running back to ever do it. It just, by the way, let me just throw this out there. Whenever there's a debate about who's the best, whether it's Barry or Emmitt or LeBron or Mike, there's this need for people to have to hate on the person who's not their guy.
Right, yeah.
And you could appreciate both. Like, I could say Barry was the best running back of his era, but Emmitt accomplished more than he did. And so I think Emmitt was a little underrated because he had a great offensive line, but people forget when he held out, we weren't doing anything with that running game behind that same line. And so just the long haul of it and his constant belief. Like, I often think about, there was a time he was interviewed and the person interviewing him said, well, what is going to happen if you get hurt before you break this record? And he said, God wouldn't bring me this far to allow that to happen. So his faith, his belief, and his ability to just put his head down and work, I think the universe paid him back. And certainly he was blessed as a result. So I got to roll with Emmitt.
Okay, I'll just let you know, I gave my life to Christ in 1998. I sure did. I did it again in 99, 2000. 2001, 2, and 3. Praise God. I'm gonna do it this year too. I promise you, I'm gonna do it this year. Now I was gonna bring it up, but I can't. I already know. I was gonna say New Edition to somebody else, but I already know it's New Edition.
New Edition.
You're NE just like I am.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave you with this. Your 5 hip hop artists that you love.
Ooh. So
not in any order.
Not in any order.
Not in any order.
Okay. So just shouts out to the old school. I got to go with Rakim.
Okay.
Grew up in the 80s, early 90s, or high school in the 80s,
Yeah.
college in the 90s. Rakim was my guy. I love Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah.
And I have had times, like, depending on which decade you ask me who's the best out of those two.
Yeah.
I tend to appreciate Biggie now more than Pac. Like, he was just lyrical genius.
Like, I don't even say who's the best. I just say, look, who's the ones you roll with? Because I love them all.
Yeah, Jay-Z.
Come on now.
Jay is just
Right.
phenomenal, and to never write anything down, he's just incredible. And then probably the unpopular pick, consider we're in election season, but Kanye to me is just that guy.
Kanye's
man.
still
He's just
dope.
super genius dude.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope. Now I'm gonna tell you as we leave here, who I always got to get in an argument about because he's always on my list and people don't, but it's just my experience, not you. Self experience. Man, I love Will Smith, man.
Oh yeah,
Will Smith, man. Will Smith, he's a rapper. If you ain't never listened to that album, he's a rapper. I'm the rapper. He's a DJ.
Yeah.
Changed the game. That really
put
put him in the movie.
Yeah,
put him in the movies. Yeah. Parents just don't understand. That was all right, but when you get to Brand New Funk, Time to Chill, like all of those.
My all-time hit is Summertime.
But Summertime too.
That was the summer of '91.
Come on,
I'll
man.
never forget.
Come on, man.
That was a hot jam.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
What name a thug song more than that's better than Summertime that causes more family fights than Summertime track? There's none. Name a song. Anytime Summertime come on, fight dominoes, somebody gonna end up fighting at the barbecue. Well, man, I appreciate you, man, for coming through
too, man.
with all the time that you're doing in your busy schedule, man. It's just a blessing to be able to come to your office and do this. I'm always appreciative of a lot that you do. I know there's going to be so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you go to IJustGotHit.com. If you're ever in a car accident, tag anybody on this because I'm just a firm believer on you need to know before it happens. Be prepared before it happens. Have all of this stuff in your car. If you have kids, if you have children, write down on a cue card, put it in the visor, say when you're in an accident, just go here and do all of these steps of what you need to do. And do me a favor, tag somebody, share this video. Do a lot. We have the Shed G and Friends Clean Comedy Special, which is located on CW. We're syndicated in 23 other cities. And we also have the Shed G and Friend podcast. And I'm going to have so much stuff. I don't even know why I'm talking this much, brother. Guys,
hey, keep it going. Hey, listen, and shouts out to you, man. Yeah. Our respect has always been mutual. But the best thing about doing this show today, you guys send me the video because I'm gonna have to tell my grandkids I really know him. I really sat down with him, no doubt. Yeah, right. Because I know your star is bright, it's shining bright, man, and the future's gonna be amazing for you. You're a humble cat, but you grind, and you're excellent at your craft because you work on it, and it's just so many things I could say, but even just watching you do this and set this up, like. It's something special for you waiting, man. And
I appreciate
I'm just proud of you, brother.
I got it. Cut the camera. Cut.